Hello everybody and welcome to this video of Awesomenauts with yours truly, SlowWolf. Today we're going to be taking a look at a replay that I have here that's about 24 minutes long. I'm playing Vinnie and Spike. And we're on Serona, so that's like the only place where Vinnie and Spike tends to do very well. We're going to be watching this to see whether or not I, what kind of mistakes I made, what can I do to do better, and maybe talk a little bit about Vinnie and how he fits in this grand scheme of things, because he's taken a lot of significant, like tier nerfs, as it were. He's not exactly he's not in the metagame right now. He doesn't do super well. Let's see what I end up doing here and why I end up doing it. Just do a quick setup here. Take off the chat log, get rid of the item notifications, and let's just let's focus on me, because I'm beautiful. At least that's what I like to tell myself. To start things off, I decided to go for basic abilities. And I actually really like going for smoke screen early on this guy. It's really good. Why? It's good because it allows you to effectively stump a push before it happens. And against the lineup that we have here on the red team, that seemed like a really good move for me at the time. I get stunned here, it doesn't end up doing too much, about 120 to 100, yeah, about 129 damage. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit. It tickles. We are looking for an opportunity to come in here. We dash, we get bit, we get snared, we get exploded, we somehow barely survive. And therein lies Vinnie's greatest problem. So Vinnie has dash. Dash does a lot of damage. Predominantly, Vinnie's greatest skill was to use dash right in the beginning. And probably his most important skill, too. Here we go. We're clearing up droids here. We didn't even clear up this, the other one there. We should have. We could have taken the time to do that. But Vinnie's greatest skill, really, was using dash. And now it just kind of isn't. I mean, what made him really strong in team fights and everything was his silence cloud. But really, it used to be his dash. Missed dash there. We would have gotten the kill there if we had landed that dash properly instead of aiming it down like we did. That was really dumb. But predominantly, his burst damage from dash was Vinnie's biggest thing. And I've played a couple of games with Vinnie since the damage patch, which is when he kind of got nerfed. And it's risky to go for dash now. There's so many people that have answers to dash. It does a reasonable amount of damage early, but it doesn't do any real damage later on, which is problematic for a lot of reasons. You can't dash in there and instantly kill people like you used to. It's used as a finishing off tool at best. If you want to initiate with it, chances are you actually really need another ability, Cloud. And you need it specifically to be Silence Cloud with Size. If you can get Silence Cloud with Size and HP regen, which is what eventually happens, and that helps a little bit later on, then you have a good time. But if you don't have that, then Vinnie's dash really is one of those things where you kind of have to be very careful with it. I think I'm looking for an opportunity to come around the back here. Maybe go after the Lone Star. Don't see that Lone Star went off to the left. See that my Chucho died instead. Maybe go after Jesus, but Jesus does end up picking up the bite, and that's going to end up doing enough HP regen on him that he'll survive. One thing that this enemy team has going for them right now is that they are very tanky. Oh, I think I die here. One of my many deaths. No, I live. Just barely. I decided, I'll give it to Inky Cat. No big deal. And then I'm like, hey, HP pack, I'll take it. And then let Inky Cat take these. You do that, Inky Cat. You do you. So here's why Silence Cloud is good. I can just put down a cloud, and then those droids will not deal damage for as long as they're blinded. Blind is exceptionally good at one thing and one thing only. I mean, it's good at blinding people and really forcing people off. But the other thing it's really good for is actually stopping droid waves flat, like without any problems. You get a free droid wave if you're there to help defend it. Oh, he almost died. That Ulip did get hit. If we had chased after him, we would not have gotten the kill anyway. So I don't think we really did a misplay there. That was totally fine by us. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, I know dash isn't that good, and it's very risky, especially against a team like what we have here. Between Ulip being able to stun us, Lone Star being able to do a lot of damage to us, Clunk being able to do a lot of damage to us. Our main concern here was being able to do enough damage to be able to farm, and simultaneously still have enough damage to be able to, and simultaneously be able to survive long enough that we can, actually deal with the amount of up close and in-your-face damage they have, which is a lot. Between explode and dynamite and stuns and dinosaurs, it's a frightening amount of damage, really. So you need to be careful playing as a Vinnie now. And going dash didn't seem like a good idea. So in this case, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head on back, and I end up actually going left click first this game. I wouldn't recommend it. It's okay at best. Let's see, I piggy bank here. I'm pretty sure this is where I piggy bank into 2 ranks of damage, which does not end up being a very useful way to do things. Yeah, teleport back home, spend the other 205 on more damage, and now I deal like 48 damage. It doesn't go up much higher than that throughout the rest of this game. It's a decently length game, and 47 damage now. Oh boy, it goes up to like 60 something later on at a reasonable clip. It's not a lot, really. We could have probably stuck at 50 something and been happy. I'm not sure if going for the Al Carper is actually a really good solar investment. For 410 solar, it's really fucking expensive. I think that's probably Vinny's biggest problem now. He can do damage, but he can't do it early enough to actually make it worth it. Oh wow, we actually got a kill there with that damage. I feel pretty vindicated now. That's nice. But he doesn't, all of his damage upgrades are super expensive, and he doesn't have the solar increase that he used to. Where once he had Solar Cloud, which is why he needed the expensive upgrades that he had, now he's got upgrades that just don't do the same amount as other people's upgrades of the same cost. And it makes him very weak overall. It takes him forever to get to the point where he's useful still. So it's not that Vinny's bad, it's that Vinny's bad for more of the game than other characters are. Like, he does not get to a point in the game where he's strong until much, much, much later. And we do eventually get to that point, but it takes a good long time. And it doesn't help that we go for left click first. If you go for dash first, you'll eventually get the burst, but that half of that burst relies on having Bag of Goldfish. And Bag of Goldfish requires you to effectively spend 150 solar on the upgrade itself, and then delay yourself another 150 solar for every other upgrade you manage to pick up if you want to keep the damage. So it's not super worth it. I was like, yeah, it didn't seem like a good plan at the time. We take a lot of damage here. I think I end up going in for this, trying to do enough damage to Lone Star to kill him, and at this point I'm like, I'm going to go around the back. Lone Star picked up the health pack. I didn't notice this. I saw blood. I was like, oh, they're so low, I'll get them! And then I just die instantly. What a time to be alive. Oh, that was awful. In the meantime, Ulip doing what Ulip does best, stunning people and then killing them horribly. So, this team on the other side here has actually a pretty severe amount of sustainability between the bull, between Dino's healing, between Clunk having the bite. It's a lot of sustain, and you do have to be careful. Now, at this point, I go for the range on the left click, thinking that if I keep them at a distance, I'll be able to do a lot of damage. Keep in mind here, range is a really good upgrade on left click, and it's arguably one of the better ones, especially for Vinnie. But it doesn't really give you too much more other than this, you know, sort of okay damage range. It's still one of his better upgrades, and I think at 185 solar, it's actually one of the more fairly priced upgrades he has. One of the very few. Oh, he almost dies here, but he picks up the HP pack, and I think he would have survived anyway, but yeah, he'll back off. Going damage here on the Lone Star, but he managed to do a lot. He's almost dead. He survives. And he's just going to be able to back off on the flip side there. Down goes Snicket, the poor Chocho, and he gets picked off, so do we get this Lone Star here? Absolutely not. We back off immediately as fast as we can. Why? Because there's no way we can get past this Clunk Ulip combo right now. If we get stunned into an explode, it's very, very damaging. I see this Lone Star. I want to get him, but I see this Ulip too. I'm like, they'll collapse on me and instantly kill me if I try. So, not worth it. We back off. And I think that was the right decision to make here. Right now, I'm trying to farm for the attack speed. Oh, that's a kill. That's a kill. There we go. Snake managed to get the kill. Our dash ends up being helpful. Our dash does enough damage. We were happy. We were successful. It doesn't happen all the time. I'm really... It really doesn't happen all the time, especially with Vinnie these days. It takes a while for him to get started is the thing. Like, even if he has an overpowering start, the amount, like, because of his overpowering start, effectively just naturalizing his advantage. And by naturalizing, I mean like that Magic Gathering card, where it's just like, oh, any enchantment or artifact bonus you gave yourself is gone. Like, his only bonus is the damage he deals. And if he has that advantage, you know, nice and early, because of his costs, the advantage is effectively gone. It's neutralized. You know, you have the positive, oh, now I'm dealing damage, but the negative of, oh, but it took me all this solar to get there. It's difficult to save, though, to be honest. Because Vinnie has access to a lot of interesting tools, he has access to one of the best silences in the game. Let's start off with the basics there. Oh, I managed to just barely bounce away here, and then I use dash to guarantee that we get away. But he has the best silence in the game, bar none. If he dashes in and puts out Silence Cloud, you're good to go. And at this point, I should have gone for that instead of going for what I did, which was another 400 solar investment into attack speed. And at this point, I'm so close, I'm like, oh, I can go for the attack speed, and look at my, and then my damage will go up. I don't need the damage. Let my teammates do the damage. What I should have gone for was Silence Cloud, so that's going to take a little while to pick up. Honestly, if you go for range on his left click, and then after that, you work on picking up Silence Cloud as quickly as possible. Oh, I see blood here, and then I get killed instead. That was unfortunate. We get murdered. If I went for range, and instead of going damage, I went into one thing of dash damage, or like just the dash damage on Vinnie, and then after that had gone for... man, I'm trying so hard to think of things, my brain keeps freezing right now. If I had gone for range, and then I had gone for dash damage, and then I had gone for Silence Cloud, I think I'd be okay. Like, I think I'd honestly be fine. I think that's a better build in this case. Going for more left click than what you need is not necessarily a good idea here. And the 420 solar investment, I think would have been better worth my time. Burst is usually better than overall DPS, especially for a character like Vinnie who relies on that burst. And because Bag Full of Goldfish delays you so much, it's really not actually worth going for Bag of Goldfish, I think, now over the Chrome File. Chrome File does overall, it's a huge solar investment, but at what cost, you know? Like, you have to delay all your other upgrades by 150 solar. Once you've got the big size clouds with silence on them, then I think Vinnie does a bit better. I don't know why I'm, like, so determined to make Vinnie useful, but you know what? I do know why. It's because Vinnie and I are good friends. Ever since I got good with him, like, you know, a little bit back, ever since I played a lot with another guy called Himty, he was a bit of a troll, at least. But ever since I played with Himty, seriously, I loved Vinnie. Vinnie was definitely one of my mains. I like to think that I was quite good with him. And, you know, being able to say that you're good with Vinnie made me a happy man. Being able to play Vinnie well and have a fun time with him is important to me. So I'm trying to think of a good build for him. And this one took too long. Don't go pure left click. Never go pure left click is the lesson I'm learning right now. It's not worth it, man. Okay, so we're taking a little bit of extra damage here. You need to be careful. We don't want to eat the dino damage. We're going to back off here. And we're going to go ahead and clear out these HP creeps up here. This is something that I think is really important if you're the defending team. You need to clear out those HP creeps whenever you get the chance, because if you don't, the enemy team will, and it's going to suck a lot. Alright, so we do some damage here. We have to back off. I don't think that our Chucho dies. He survives, actually. Very well. Nicely done, nicely done, man. Okay, at this point, we go for as much damage as we can on that guy. Cannot land the kill, but he does! A well-placed sticky bomb will pick up the kill. At least he can land sticky bombs, even if I can't. Good job, dog. But, you know, we both tried, and we managed to get the kill together. Good job, us. Good job. We're not doing spectacularly. Like, we're taking a very long time to come online, and at this point, we spent another 200 solar, and, like, let's see, how many of these upgrades do I have now? I've got, both the Scarfish upgrades. So that's good. We now have all of our attack speed, which is, you know, a thing, I guess. And look how much, like, damage I'm putting out. It's not all that much more. It's some. It's definitely some. And it's not an insignificant amount of damage more, but it's not a lot. And I have a feeling that this could have been had maybe at the same time if I had gone for other upgrades instead. Like, we really did slow ourselves down. Okay, the dinos dealt me a lot of damage. We need to back off here. And we do. And we can do a lot of push damage with this, but that's not what we want as a Vinnie. We want to be able to get kills. We want to be able to be that assassin type that picks up those last hits. That goes for these fishy kills on the backside. And then going for this DPS build effectively leaves us very, very weak, and we get picked off there. In fact, Lone Star here picks up a double kill. Like, good job, man. Good job. He's got a reasonable build, too. Let's talk Lone Star for a second. He's got booming bullets, which I definitely agree with. You do not need missiles, because missiles just don't do a lot, I find. Damage over time is really good. It's a better investment, I think, earlier on than, at least depending on the team makeup. If no one has regen on the other team, definitely a good investment. I like trying to make it a bit better for the burst, but, you know, whatever floats your boat, man. It's a reasonable amount of extra damage. It's like adding an extra stick, effectively, in terms of damage. So, it's not bad by any stretch. Anyway, we're back. Let's focus on me for a second here, because I'm beautiful and wonderful, and I'm 1 and 3. We go in here, we do the no cloud. We managed to pick up a kill. The dash, it does do enough, actually. I want to see exactly how much damage it does. I'm trying to find it here. No dash there. Still trying to find a dash. Haven't found it yet. Okay, I kind of committed a little bit too hard to that positioning there, and it didn't work out for us. He managed to get away just fine. So we committed a little bit too hard to that. Because Vinnie can't go up or down very fast unless he uses dash, and dash is the only thing that was keeping the clunk from chasing us. He was able to get away very easily. How much damage should we do on dash again? I decided not to dash in there yet. I really wish I had. So how much damage are we doing on every volley of our bullets right now? 55 times 3 is 110. 165 damage every time we shoot off our shots. It's not bad. In fact, it's actually quite good. It's really fast. But we wouldn't be doing that much less. Like, we would be doing maybe 40 something less if we just had kept to natural damage. And it would have been that big of a deal. In fact, we would have had more burst, and more burst might get us might have gotten us more kills in the long run. And more kills meant more solar, which would have been better for getting all this stuff anyway. Like, we would have been having a better time. It's difficult to say for real where Vinnie sits in terms of his build. Again, I really do think a lot of the upgrades, especially his left click throw, is very expensive for what it does. And that's just, it's really difficult to justify those things right now. Okay, at this point, I'm beginning to realize that going for Silence Cloud would be really, really hot. Like, really hot. And we're sitting on 340 something solar. We can definitely go for it. So why aren't we? I think we take a long time to realize that we actually could shop. Boom, out comes the damage. We're doing 458 on a dash. It's not bad. It's almost 500, but it's not all that much either. A lot of other people do a lot more damage at this stage of the game, so it is really important to make sure that we pick up the upgrades that we need right now. And I think I go for the right upgrades here. So let's see. Just double checking. Come on. Buy them. Don't be dumb. Be a smarty. Buy the right upgrades. Vinnie and Spiky. Come on. Let's go. I want to see size. And I want to see silence. Those are the two upgrades I want to see right now. I take a long time to decide this one. Like this is obvious to me in hindsight. Yeah, there we go. So red bandana, Rocketeer. I was debating between that and dash damage, and I was like, yeah, we need the silence. And honestly, silence is super good. It's like, again, it's the best silence in the game, bar none. If you can use it properly, Rocketeer and silence is like right there. We used it perfectly. They have to completely split up. They can't really push. They back off. We're going to go up here and immediately pick off these HP creeps so that way they don't have nearly as much sustain as a result. We go in for the damage on the dash. We start chasing with our fish gun. And now we start chasing down this Ulip who's quite low, but he's going to end up going down maybe to someone else, and he does. This Lone Star's doing us a lot of damage. We have to be careful. Inky wants to go in for the kill. He's maybe going to find it, maybe not. We're going to get it on home. What do we buy? Do we buy a pack of pills? I don't know what we buy, man. I don't think we bought anything. We didn't buy a damn thing. Okay. With 166 solar, we didn't buy a damn thing. Okay, fair enough. Either way, we got 2 kills. Things are starting to look a little bit better. It's 10 to 8. It's 1 kill a minute right now, which is not a lot, but this starts to pick up a little bit now. A little bit of damage coming on Jesus. Jesus is quite low. He's going to take another 469, so 470 damage. That could be a lot better. Okay, we pick up another kill on Inky Cat there. Very well done by us. And at this point, Vinnie starts coming to a decent late game, but Scree and Chucho have done all the work. Let's take a look at the damage done. Damage done. Actually, we're doing a decent amount. I'm surprised we've done that much. I was expecting that we would have done a lot less. Keep in mind, that damage is done mostly to creeps. How many droid kills do we have? I legitimately want to see this. Let's look at custom and droid kills. We've got 85 of them. So that explains our damage done. And they're doing a lot more damage on the other team. So yeah, it's it's something to be said here that our droid kills are quite high, but so is our damage. So that means that all of our damage is going on to droids, not on people. We'd rather be having it go on to people most of the time. And it's not like Vinnie's a spectacular pusher, so out comes the damage there. Another 480. He's going to end up dying to that, I think. Almost. Yeah, he does end up dying to Skiznet. He almost survived. Like, I would have been a little salty if that had been me. Boy, am I glad that wasn't me. Clear out these waves. We're looking to find an opportunity here. We're playing it very cagey. Like, we're feeling very confident now that we have access to silence. Okay, here's when I realize things are going badly for our screen. We come here, go for the silence, we start doing some left click, and the Clunk doesn't really get the kill there, which is very strange. I would have expected him to try for it a little bit harder, but he doesn't. Maybe he's scared of us for no good reason? I don't know. Either way, Clunk's here. He's going to try to go for something. We dealt him 300 damage just by left clicking, so, you know, go us. There's a little bit more left clicking. Actually, a little bit more now. 180 every time that we land all 3 of our left clicks. All 3 of our bubbles on the left click, so that's actually a decent amount, but people have to be pretty done to take that amount. So we now have the regen on Cloud, which actually gives us a ton of HP here. Like, we're looking at a lot of HP. We can chase Lone Star really hard. Plus, it allows us to initiate really, really hard if we take our things carefully here. At this point, I silence. The timing is good. Means the Ulip can't really do his stun. We managed to put out the dash on the Lone Star. Lone Star then dies. We are then lucky enough to be able to pick up the 8 HP before we die to the dot. So, looking a lot better all of a sudden. Do we have the dash damage yet? Nope, not yet. 1 rank in pills and Silence Cloud with regen on it. Silence Cloud with regen on it does give us actually a lot of opportunities here. One thing that Vinnie does really well with that now is pick up a lot of HP. I mean, 40 HP per creep right now at this stage of the game is quite a lot. Does that increase over time? I think it does. I think it does. I think that heal does increase over the course of the game. So out comes the silence here. It's going to stop Bull from happening, but not much else. The Lone Star should get away scot-free because we get bulled and it slows and it sucks. And he'll just skip on over to our side of the map, pick up the creeps, have a good time. We don't care. We're going to start pushing out this area here. We are doing a lot of damage to these creeps thanks to the piercing innately on our stuff, which is something that a lot of other characters wish they had. I mean, Raylan has to tech into piercing on her range shots. Chucho has to tech into a sort of piercing on his range shots. Like, it's... For ranged characters, being able to hit multiple people in a row is kind of a dream come true. It does a lot for you. So being able to do that is very nice. Like, all on its own, it does a lot of damage, so... Okay. Clunk decides not to go in here, and that's a smart move. Lone Star is going to be a pain on our side, and we realize this, so we're doing it as much as we can to actually tell him to screw off and to go away. Out comes this damage. We're able to kill him thanks to a droid getting the last hit, which is very odd. We were not looking forward to that. Now, this Clunk is completely toyed with here. He walks into the Silence Cloud at the wrong time. He's now very low HP. He's already used his bite. He takes a dash for 503 and then finally bites it. So, yeah, we're feeling really strong right now. Really strong right now. I think we back off now and pick up the damage on dash. How much damage I think we'll do here is a little bit odd. Is a little bit strange. Let's see if this was a good idea. As soon as we buy it, that would be good. Come on. Buy it. Buy it. There it is. So, Chrome File does 15 on rank 1. Bag of Goldfish does 24 total, if you have the 150 in your pocket. So, it's practically equivalent, but Bag Full of Goldfish ends up being a little bit cheaper. I take back what I said. In a certain respect, but at the same time, Chrome File does do a little bit more damage, so it might be worth going for Chrome File instead. I'm not sure which yet. I'll play with it a little bit more if you're actually interested in playing Vinnie and Spike. Okay, we put out the Solar Cloud here. By Solar Cloud, I mean just the HP Cloud at this point because it doesn't do solar anymore. We're doing a lot of damage. We did a lot there actually to help dissuade people from doing anything else. And he's gonna not go down there. This Clunk is looking to get away. I see him on the minimap, so I'm gonna head him off and dash. Killed. Does 700. We didn't have our 150 solar yet, so, you know, forgive me. We weren't doing full damage. That was just the 15%. So 1 rank in Chrome File increased our damage at this stage of the game by quite a lot. We also have a 3-level advantage. I didn't really realize this at the time, but we have a pretty severe advantage. We were getting pounded in the early game, and now we're looking all kinds of good. Doing a lot of damage here, and then we go in, we put out the Solar Cloud. They are very slow. They are very close to dead. We pick off one, we pick off the other. That's another couple of kills. We are now awesome? You gotta be kidding me. I'll admit, when that happened in the game, I was very surprised. Okay, at this point, we go in for the dash. It's 806 damage with Bag Full of Goldfish and 1 rank in Chrome File, so yeah, that damage is pretty silly. Now imagine if you had that equivalent kind of damage earlier on in the game instead. You'd be able to pick up a couple more kills that way. So I'm thinking that with Vinnie, he's got cost issues is the main thing. His damage is fine, he just needs to get it a little bit earlier. So if I was to buff him, like, like 205 per rank in damage? Come on. Come on. No one else pays that much damage for base, like, 14% increased damage? That's nothing. The attack speed of Bubblegun, 2 ranks, 410. Froggy G pays 260 for a similar increase in attack speed. It's highway robbery. It really is. Rocketeer is really good. Silence Red Bandana is fantastic. Rubber Mask I'm actually coming to really enjoy. Getting 600 health per cloud is really, really strong. At the same time, like, his dash damage is fine. His dash damage is right where it needs to be, I think. But the problem, again, is his solar costs. So, he's in a weird spot in terms of cost. I think that's it. His damage is fine. His cost needs to be brought down. As far as builds go, you don't need to tech into damage early. I think that it's worth just going for stuff to keep you alive early game, so Sharky and Remora, so that way you've got that range in the early game, then go for Silence Cloud as soon as possible, and then start going for dash damage. I think that would be my build next time. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I know I sure did, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this one, though, make sure to like it so that way I know, and subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. Later!